TimeCrimes, or Los Chronocrimes, is a 2007 Spanish time travel thriller directed by Nacho Vigalondo. The film is about Hector. He is moving into an isolated house in the country. He lives with his wife. So Hector is relaxing and suddenly sees a woman getting naked in the forest, because as we all know, every foreign film has to have nudity, and decides to follow her. Hector eventually finds her fatally wounded, and it appears that a mysterious bandage-headed man is the culprit. Hector flees from the man, believing that he is some kind of deranged serial killer, and eventually finds a house where he talks to another man who wants to help him. The man tells him to come to where he is in some small hut kind of building, and hide in some kind of machine. The machine is revealed to be a time machine when Hector comes out of it to find it being day, and an hour or two earlier. Hector decides to find out who the naked woman was, and who the bandaged man is, as well as try and get the previous self to get into the machine and go away. TimeCrimes is a film filled with many twists, turns, and fun details. Some of the twists being quite obvious, others being unpredictable and very clever. There are very few characters seen in TimeCrimes, all I liked, even though I got a dubbed version of the film. Hector is a likable character. He's not a perfect man, but no man is. You can tell he really loves his wife. The young girl in the film seems a bit underdeveloped, but she's still acted well and has the necessary emotions. The bandage-headed man is also spooky, mysterious, and creepy. In the dubbed version, there are many times where I think that the things that the characters said was kind of strange. For example, there's this part where I thought that it was supposed to be some witty one-liner in Spanish, but it translates to something completely different and sounds strange. It's just the problem with watching any foreign films, and it isn't the film's fault. Most of the time it's fine, and there isn't too much dialogue, so there isn't too much of a problem. Maybe the subtitle version might be better. I really like the setting of the film. It kind of reminds me of the third Harry Potter movie for some strange reason. The story is set between dusk and night time, which allows the audience to know what time of the day the film is set, and it really makes it feel like Hector is going on this very long journey, even though it's only a couple of hours for him. I especially like how this effect works when we travel back in time. It feels like the whole world is being reset. The story is set in this really isolated area, with a forest and only a couple of buildings. It makes the bandage-headed man seem even more mysterious. Why is he here, and where did he come from? The story is paced very well. It has a mysterious, thrilling feel to it. There isn't much humour in TimeCrimes. I did like the binocular scene, though. There doesn't need to be too much humour in this film, though. The camera work is also great. TimeCrimes was a really enjoyable time travel film. I really liked the ending, though I liked the beginning and the middle too. The only thing I can say that's wrong with the film, is that it violates some of the rules of time travel. And you don't have to be a nerd to understand what I'm trying to say. The film's plot kinda doesn't make any sense. At first it seems like it makes sense, but after watching it and looking at it as a whole, it kind of doesn't. It really doesn't make the film too hard to watch, but it's something to think about once you've already seen the film. If you like time travel films, TimeCrimes is a movie for you. If you like the time travel aspect of Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, then you'll really like this film too. I wouldn't recommend TimeCrimes to absolutely everyone. Firstly, be aware that there's nudity in the movie, so don't show it to your kids unless you want them to see some nudity, obviously. Also, there's some quite slow bits in the film with not much action. I didn't mind this too much, but maybe you would. I also want to warn any horror movie fans that this really isn't a horror movie. There really isn't much gore, violence, or shocks that anyone would expect in a horror movie. The film will probably be in the thriller genre more than anything else, including science fiction. If you're worried about the time travel being a bit confusing or convoluted, TimeCrimes definitely doesn't have any of that, so you won't be stressing your brain to wonder what the hell is going on. Also, a piece of advice before watching this movie: do not watch any of the trailers, they completely spoil this film. Apparently, there's meant to be a 2012 remake of this film in English, but I don't really see why. The film does what it's trying to do almost perfectly in every way, and the dub is perfectly fine to watch, though there is a bit of things lost in translation, as I would say. But anyway, TimeCrimes, it's a pretty good film. As I said, if you like time travel movies, then check out TimeCrimes. If you like thrillers, check out TimeCrimes. It is a Spanish film, but it really doesn't really feel like a Spanish film, apart from the fact that the original language it was in Spanish, so you won't have to worry about the film being too Spanish for you. I really didn't mind the dub for this film, but maybe the subtitle version might fix some of the translation errors that I've been talking about. To wrap it up, TimeCrimes, pretty good movie, happy I saw it, and it gets 3.5 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching, everyone.